Joe Biden and Donald Trump are deep in campaign mode. And whilst Donald Trump has had everything thrown at him, his base only seems to be getting stronger. On the other hand, Joe Biden has had a clear run, aided by the media, political elite and the judiciary, yet still faces empty seats at his rallies, a string of gaffes and grim opinion polls. Sky News All Stars Rita Panahi, Creighton and Paul Murray take a look at Trump's Rockstar receptions and ask where all the Joe Biden fans have gone this election. Donald Trump and Joe Biden are busy preparing for their highly anticipated debate this week, but preparation looks very different for the two leaders. Joe Biden was whisked away days ago to Camp David and has been in hiding preparing for the debate ever since, which Sky News All-Star Creighton says is an embarrassing look for the president.
Let's bring in our first guest, Washington correspondent for the Australian, Creighton. Adam, welcome. Let's kick off with a preview of the highly anticipated presidential debate, of course, between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. We saw Biden arriving at Camp David this week, allegedly for debate prep. What sort of prep do you think he's up to?
Well, look, it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it, to be starting prep so far in advance of the debate. I mean, I think that really says it all. I mean, you'd think as President of the United States and a very experienced politician for many decades that he would not need to start 7 days beforehand. But look, that's a sad reflection of the reality that he's clearly in cognitive decline. That's very clear from numerous videos that the world has now seen multiple times. So it really is make or break, I think, for the president. So in that sense, I can understand why he's starting earlier, because everyone's going to be focusing on his ability.
In contrast, Donald Trump has seemingly done no preparation and would rather use his time to mock Joe Biden for his preparation in front of thousands at his rallies, reveals Sky News All-Star Paul Murray.
Donald Trump is not doing much debate prep. If he is, he's doing it in between rallies, because he's saying things like this at a recent rally today in front of tens of thousands of people.
He can fall off the stage. He can fall up the stairs. He falls up from 20,000 feet of paratroopers landing right in front of him. Everybody, all the foreign leaders, they're watching. And he turns around to look at a tree. Right? No. And then they say it was fake, he was fine. And then the press goes along with it. They go along with it.
As well as mocking Joe Biden's debate prep, Donald Trump has been spending a lot of time with his fans, who can't seem to get enough of him. Like earlier this week, when a young superfan was brought to tears after meeting his idol.
Make sure he gets a special sandwich for himself.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm going to do something. Come here. You're going to hit pay dirt. You know why? Watch. Look at him, huh? Okay, hold it for now. You know what that is? Andrew Jackson. All right, dude. I'm going to sign it for you. We're going to make it value. We're going to add some value. Okay.
We never have this before. We remember
Look at it. All right, Timmy. Donald Trump also took the time to make a phone call to the mother of slain jogger Rachel Moren, which she was deeply touched by.
Former President Trump called the mother of slain jogger Rachel Moren to offer his heartfelt condolences. She was that mother of 5 who was tragically killed last year while running on a Maryland hiking trail. Trump's team says that her mother, Patty Moren, expressed her gratitude for the president's call, saying, quote, "I am deeply touched by President Trump's kindness and concern. He was genuine and truly wanted to know how our family was coping. He asked about Rachel and showed honest compassion for her untimely death. His words brought comfort to me during this very difficult time."
These small acts of kindness to his supporters have galvanized Trump's base, seen by the consistently huge turnouts at his rallies. US political analyst Aidan Smith says the support has strengthened following Trump's conviction, with the Republican base showing him sympathy.
Trump wiggling his way out of this one. A lot of people overcorrected, I think, and concluded, oh no, not only will this not hurt him, it will actually help him because people will rally around his cause. To me, I think that, sure, among his Republican base, there's definitely a lot of sympathy for him who believe his defense in these cases.
Donald Trump has also attracted celebrity support, namely in the UFC, which is quite rare for a Republican nominee, says Sky News All-Star Douglas Murray.
And we've seen Donald Trump recently join TikTok. He's trying to reach those young voters. It was a surprise move. He's had great success so far in reaching a new audience. Let's have a look at his latest post. Here he is with YouTube star Logan Paul. Is he taking note of what is happening in Europe and recognising younger voters have to be reached via these new platforms? It can be quite difficult to get through to them in the mainstream media.
I'm sure he is. I mean, of course, Donald Trump's extraordinary success in 2016 was in large part the result of him using Twitter so well. Of course, you know, the then pre-Elon Musk Twitter couldn't forgive itself for being used in this way, and was obviously mortified. But remember how well he used Twitter. All of the ad money that his opponents were spending on the traditional networks, he didn't need to spend, because everyone was writing about him and talking about him on the basis of any moment's tweet. His two thumbs.
And whilst Trump is taking over the streets and the internet, Joe Biden and his supporters have gone MIA. And it's not only Joe Biden who's on the nose. It seems all Democrats, including the once wildly popular AOC, are no longer the flavour of the month for their base, reveals Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi.
Now, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she had quite the weekend at the Bronx. Here she is coming to the stage like she's some sort of a gangster rap star. Pity the crowd was so teeny tiny small.
And the empty rallies are translating to the polls, with Adam Creighton saying all bets are on Donald Trump to take out the election.
Let's take a look now at one of the latest polls. We have President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump basically neck and neck in the race to the White House. According to this new election forecast from 538, it shows that Biden has a slight edge, having a 53% chance of winning the election, and Donald Trump follows closely with a 47% chance. Obviously, a lot can happen between now and November 5. What do you make of the latest poll numbers?
Yeah, well, look, it's still 5 months away, and, you know, frankly, you and I are paying lots of attention to the race, but most Americans still probably aren't. So many things can happen, lots of black swans, lots of white swans. But look, I mean, I take a different view from that 538 poll. I think Donald Trump is you know, pretty firmly ahead. I mean, what matters in the US system is the marginal states, you know, the 6 or 7 states that really matter for the Electoral College. And most polls say that in those states, Donald Trump is well ahead. He's like 4 or 5 points ahead, which is pretty extraordinary, frankly. So you'd have to say that if things stay as they are, more or less, that Donald Trump will win at this stage. And it's not just the polls, it's also the betting markets. I mean, if you look at the real clear average of the major 8 bookies that take bets on the election, Donald Trump's something like 51% chance of winning, and Joe Biden something like 40%. So the former president is actually well ahead, and you know, that's pretty extraordinary. I mean, who would have said that 1.5 years ago, right?
But despite lackluster rallies and grim polls, the mainstream media will continue to prop up Joe Biden.
Tell me more about the rules of this debate. You mentioned who gets to speak last and then picking the podium. They don't have a crowd there. And I think they're cutting off the mics in between answers. It seems to be set up to assist Biden to do a little bit better, because what Trump's particularly good at is that banter and throwing someone off by interjecting.
Yeah, they're going to make it where there's as little improvisation as possible, and they want this thing as scripted and as easy because the mainstream media wants to prop up Joe Biden. So, listen, they're not going to throw any fastballs at Joe Biden. They're going to make it soft toss, underhand, as easy as possible. But sadly, I still think Joe Biden's going to perform horribly. And I hope we go back to the Donald Trump of 2016 where he said he was going to put Hillary Clinton in jail. And I hope that he has that bravado and doesn't pull any punches, because Trump really needs to come out swinging. And I think it's so important, this first debate, to set the tone for the rest of the campaign.
And the ladies of The View are also helping out with this deranged rant by Joy Bahar.
I do. I mean, my bond with my audience has always been I don't pull a punch.
Yeah.
My bond with my audience is you're not going to like everything I say, but you know I'm saying what I really think is true.
Oh, that was some subtle shade thrown by Ma. And that wasn't the worst of it. Here, Joy claims that Biden's brain is still good. He's great.
We are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
Oh, that is just unintentionally hilarious. And